Support your local council!
Don't worry, we're giving Am I coming back to your spreadsheet? Kids, turn so the cameraman can see you. This is an election campaign.
Well done. Hold them up.
Don't vote for me.
Hold them all up.
This is what happens.
Sovereign centre. Hang a lap. Dry centre. Yeah. Walk in the middle.
Well, these posters are all washed up, just like the councillors.
Oh.
Beasley might be looking for his back door.
Can we go back that way?
No, this way.
This way.
Right hands for the rest?
Oh,
I'm good. It's just that these guys are a bit taller than me, you know what I mean? I've had the factory only in the last few years. It's been in my family since 1910. So I'm, as pissed off as everyone in this place to see what they're doing next door. It's breaking my heart, to be honest with you.
Vandalism!
There's no need for houses here.
No.
They can put houses anywhere else but here. We'll end up with a ghetto if we have houses here. We should have what we've got there already, which is what has always been a place for the community. It's a new word today, it's called a creative hub, but it still does the same thing. It's helping people. It's helping people from their community. It's the same thing. So we mustn't give up. Even though they're supposed to be knocking it down, we can still save it. Okay?
Why is it that bosses' cars resemble phallic symbols? Biggest best is their idea. We can demolish your old pier. Of course, there's no real money made here. Yes to build on grand swimming pools. Yes to the max to hide your views. We can build on land given freely. Anyway, the Frankenstein is the Shelley family. We, the people, have strong thought about the past that was left or fought between the wars and way back. Council computers, they can't track my tears for fears of no intelligent thought. How can you build on given land? We, the people, must make a stand.
Okay, Catherine Edgar started all this and then invited me along and we got involved, and I never believed that it would come to this day when the council were actually going to go and demolish. I couldn't believe it because Dame Sybil Thorndike was our patron. We had a lot of people who came along who became famous, but that's not important. What's important is the succour it gave to the community, the children's theatre, and all the artists that were born here who had the most wonderful time here, and the community spirit that it helped to engender and maintain. And yet here we are, saying goodbye to our community centre. We haven't given up, even though we're here saying rest in peace. And it's 138 years since these proud Victorians gave us this fantastic building and had the foresight to say, it is for you, community of Boscombe, forever. You need this forever. And we're going to give this in trust to these wonderful people who are on your now Bournemouth Council forever to look after, because these are honourable men.
Nice.
Well, if it was forever, and these are still honourable men, this must be the end of the world. Must it not? That must be what has happened, that we've come to the end of the world. Well, brothers and sisters, do you think it's come to the end of the world? Because I don't.
No.
I think we've still got some way to run on this. And we've said it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
And I ain't singing yet.
We'd just like everyone to know that tomorrow we'll be launching a very public appeal to stop what is basically vandalism to a sound, historic community asset. It's going to be very quite public to Council Leader John Beasley and Prime Minister David Cameron. We are a big society success story, a social enterprise plan that is very robust and viable. Bournemouth Council has claimed that our plan is unviable. We've only coordinated this plan. It's the community that have created the plan to reinstate
It's
this
your
centre.
plan.
It is. It's the community plan.
We just put it together.
And did the research.
Amen, brother.
And gave them a lot of homework.
Amen!
So let's hope this inspires new beginnings and that Council Leader John Beasley will seriously reconsider what is about to be deprivation through asset stripping. If we lose our sound, historic Shelley legacy to us all, 135 years, that centre has been self-sustaining. And we continue for many more, let's hope, because without it, Boscombe will probably be condemned to another 30 years of deprivation. If you had a business that added value and attraction, and it paid for itself, and you were trying to make that business work, why would you get rid of it? The facts simply do not add up, and it's time for a serious reconsideration.
And I have to say, just to add to that, when we have to think about Margate, which has suffered the same ills as Boscombe, and 2 years ago they opened a brand new art centre, and their fortunes have turned around so much that now the Rough Guide quotes it as being one of the top 10 destinations in the world to visit. We could do that in Boscombe.
Yeah.
There's no reason why not. Councillor Beasy talks about you can't change Boscombe, it'll take 30 years. What he's saying is F you, baby. Well, we'll remember him when it comes to the election time. And we'll remember all these people who said they couldn't say anything.
Yes, and this is
James
this
Kelly,
site
Chris
is not
Wakefield,
derelict.
and so forth. We'll remember these councillors. We'll remember their silence, because their silence is tantamount to going along with absolutely everything, acquiescence. And that does not do, because we are the people, and we are more, they are few.
Yeah.
And we must not forget that. So, okay, let's have a drink and remember all these fabulous 138 years of art history that has started at this wonderful Victorian building.
3 cheers for the Arts Centre.
When the occupation was in progress, I was very privileged to be able to go in and walk among the buildings, and I did this poem there, and we did a procession through the building with people rattling and banging everything they could find, and there was people banging ashtrays and little bells. So what I'd like you to do, if I just read this poem as I read it, as we process through the buildings, is just rattle, bang everything you can in a great sound, a great stimity for the building. Let us rededicate this building to the arts. Let us drive out the shadows of mediocrity, of settling for second best. Let us protest. This is a place of striving and creating and trying for something just out of reach, because this is what the arts are.
let us rededicate this building to photography, to sculpture, to painting, to poetry, to theatre, to storytelling, to writing, to knitting, to singing, to sewing, to dancing, to remembering, to thinking of the future, to living in the now. Art is movement. It's the spinning of the potter's wheel. It is the drawing of the bow across the strings. It is the dancer pirouetting in the sunset. It is the painter's brush and the mime artist's husk. And because of its movement, it is of the moment. It is ephemeral and gone in an instant, to live on in the memory and as a moment of change. Let us rededicate this to children covered in paint, that they may go home gloriously happy, ignoring their parents and carers tutting, to those who have no other voices, that they may sing out loud and be heard, to those who have no other family, that this may be a place where they may sit and spin yarns. Let us remember here that without arts we cannot grasp the past, and that by running our fingertips and lips over it, understand it and ourselves, that without arts we cannot draw the future and try to dance with it, and understand that we and the world could be, that without the arts we cannot mould the present and hold it to the light so that we can say, that is good. And when good people ask whether they would rather have the arts or houses or the NHS or social services, we must say we need both, because without arts there will be no need for any of the others. So, altogether, let us rededicate this building to the arts. Let us drive out the shadows of utilitarianism, of mediocrity, of settling for second best. Let us protest